Welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European time on the dollar. We do the show every day, Monday to Friday, because we gotta know what's happening in Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything else. And guys, we are down a little bit still, haven't recovered, so we're gonna look at that. Yesterday we actually forgot to talk about the DXY, so we're gonna talk about DXY. DXY has been dumping down lately, as you can see down here. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk a little bit about Bitcoin, and there is not actually much happening today. I think everybody's right now waiting for this this triangle or whatever it's down here to play out. If it's a triangle, if it's some kind of pennant up here, it might be what do you call it, a continuation pennant towards the downside, right? Pennants are not actually pennants are not good indication of anything good in a downtrend. They often break towards the same side. So if this is a pennant, big move down, consolidation up here, continuation, and then more towards the downside. So we're gonna see if that's actually breaks down or breaks up. Of course, we are right now above some kind of moving averages, so we have some kind of hope it's gonna break towards the upside. But if it's a pennant, we might actually expect it break a little bit towards the downside. So we're gonna check that out. How's everybody in the chat doing? What's up? This Central Plane, what's up? Gundars, morning, how you doing? Gort, yo bratko, kaks. We got to know. Morning, Techno Viking, what's up? We're moving higher to take the monthly VWAPs. ADA just broke an inverse head and shoulders. Link target 73, ADA 036. You're welcome. Thanks, Jay. I like when you bullish. Longomatic Bitcoin link ADA from the lows. Ooh. You're hoping for big moves. Pre, what's up? When moon, TLA? Yeah, when moon, that's the question. So the thing is up here, you can see up here already, like we are breaking above the moving averages, but we are not pumping. Every time you break certain levels, every time you break certain resistances and you're not, pumping immediately or very short term, it's kind of it's kind of justifies worrying a little bit. The same thing goes for breaking supports. If you break support and you're not dumping, that that might be there is still some kind of bullishness left in the price. So there is that. So the fact that we are not pumping right now, it's kind of worrying. But we just had the 4-hourly close, as you can see here. We just had the 4-hour close. Now the 4-hourly close did indeed close very nicely up here. We managed to get above the 20 and the 10 moving average. Let me see up here. Did we make a higher high? Yes, we made a higher high up here on the chart. We got a higher high. Do we have a higher high with the divergence? There is no divergence on the chart. So 4-hourly right now, there is no divergence on the chart. We made a higher high. We are above the 10-20 moving average. So, technically probability should be towards the upside, but anything can happen. So there is that. Incredible that DXY broke down and bits did not recover. Looks weak for crypto. Yeah, it does look weak for crypto, which is kind of worrying a little bit. I'm gonna explain a little bit why when we come to the DXY, and because once DXY broke this much towards the downside, it needs some kind of dead cat bounce, don't you think? And if that dead cat's bounce while Bitcoin is going down, I don't know. Maybe but changes do happen. So maybe just maybe Bitcoin and DXY right now are correlated with the price. You never know. Tire legs, what? Dobro jutro, how you doing, man? Crypto is in an extended bear market. I wouldn't say it's an extended bear market. I'm gonna show you some long-term charts, and you will see that it's still in the same kind of market. Did you deploy your 20% cash on the side yet? Yes, actually I did. I did like 2 days before the crash. Call me crazy. So I'm 100% down. So there is that. Stuff happens. Life moves on. But oftentimes when I think it's time to buy, it goes other way around. I don't know. Emotional stability is not my strong side. Are you still bullish as you was? No, I'm not as bullish as I was because we broke down. So there's that. What else can go wrong? Surely nothing. It can always get worse. It can always get worse. Anyways, let's start looking at what's happening in Bitcoin. So of course, the first thing you're gonna notice on Bitcoin, this looks to me like some kind of pennant up here. Although I'm a little bit bullish on the pennant. I wouldn't consider it very, very bullish. But this move up here, this over here looks like a continuation pennant up here. Now it might it might be some kind of It might be some kind of bear flag up here, so we might break this pennant towards the upside, we create a bear flag and then go towards downside down here. Now that can definitely happen. We just don't know just yet, right? We need to see how, if we break this towards upside, are we gonna get rejected by the 20 moving average up here on the 50 over here, and then towards downside. So it's a little bit, you know, still a little bit sketchy when it comes to, you know, which way is the next way, the correct way right now. Are we going, you know, towards the upside up here or down? And if you look at it 4-hourly time frame and the moving averages, it does look like it wants to break towards the upside, because it did this nice move. First of all, we got several, you know, bullish indications that, you know, the price is starting to become bullish. First one is up here, you know, big, you know, recovery candle, but it failed to get above the 20 moving average. Pulled back down here. We got a big, you know, 4-hourly candle, but we got a bullish engulfing candle up here above the 10 moving average, which I consider is very good. Number one, you broke a moving average and you got a bullish engulfing candle towards upside. So on the 4-hourly, this actually looks good. Second bullish indication came up here when it came above the 20 moving average, which is very good because we you know, broke the 20 moving average. And you can see here, you know, 20 moving average has been acting as a resistance all the way down, and right now we are above that 20 moving average. So, you know, some bullishness is definitely in the chart. And right now on the last 4-hourly candle right up here, we actually managed to make a higher high. So you can see up here we got a high, and right now we got a higher high. So it is also again bullish move. Not only that, this higher high did not come with any kind of divergence on the chart, which is very bullish. On the 4-hourly time frame, the MACD is still going towards the upside, slight movement, you know, on the moment towards the upside. So, you know, looking at the 4-hourly chart, I don't see that much that's actually wrong with the price. And it does look indeed, you know, in this last, you know, couple, you know, day or something like that, it did manage to do some very nice moves. It does shows bullishness. So I would say the probability on this pennant over here, if it's a pennant, is towards the upside. It's gonna be really interesting to see how it reacts to the 50 moving average, but it's really, you know, I think the probability up here is towards the upside. If we see any kind of, you know, failure up here, going back below these kind of lows down here towards downside, then we can assume that this may be, you know, pennant up here, you know, breaks to downside down some kind of 14k or something like that. So I'm a little bit unsure whether it can actually happen or not. I'm a little bit more bullish when it comes out, you know, just over here for this breakout towards the upside. But, you know, this 50 moving average, this yellow line is going to be very interesting to see how it reacts to that, because the 50 moving average on any time frame is very important. So this move towards the upside, I think that's more probable than the move towards the downside right now. I think that that's the case, but because you know, we had like 3, you know, strongly nice, you know, candles up here. Bullish engulfing candle above the 20 moving average, higher high, no divergence. So you know, small time frames, they doing that, in fact, at least to me, look, you know, nicely bullish up here. So I think there is a good chance up here for this this price up here, to the shoe pattern up here, to break actually towards the upside. So it's gonna be interesting. Now the next levels, of course, to break, you know, increase bullishness, stuff like that, like over here you see it right now, top up here on the 50 moving average. That's important to break, so we need to do that. Right up here, 50 moving average important, 17.6 give or take. That was also one of the important levels that we need to break. If you go to the daily time frame, we don't have any kind of lower lows up here on the chart. We got a higher low, and there is no divergence on the chart or anything like that. The 10 moving average is also coming to this 17.5, 17.6 line. So, you know, getting up here above this, you know, that might give us a little bit more bullishness in the price. So now we're gonna see that, but, you know, going all the way up here to 17.6 right now, when you're looking at 4-hourly time frame, it's not that crazy. It's not that crazy. 2-hourly time frame, we are still, you know, extended from the moving averages down here on the downside. We are, you know, kind of stopping up here. Will we get this, you know, this dead cat bounce and then, you know, go towards downside? That kind of depends. That kind of depends, but we are still below this, you know, very low levels on the downside. We've been down here below these lows for, you know, right now 2, 4, 6 days, 6, 7 days. Something like that. So, you know, we've been down there for a long time. The most important, of course, support or resistance level right now is 18.8. This on the weekly time frame, we said that, you know, whatever happens, you know, a best case scenario, this needs to, you know, however it, you know, best case scenario is we recovered this week towards the upside. You know, that's the best case scenario. Other, you know, scenarios is, you know, we use 2 weeks to recover, and the worst case scenario is we don't recover up here, you know, and you know, maybe even get rejected or even go lower towards downside. I think going up here and getting rejected and going down, I think that would be worse than just going down over here. I think this option up here, you know, rejection and then down, will be worse and will dump more than if you just go down right now. Because if you go down just right now, then we are just getting like more and more extended towards downside, and I think, you know, there is more probability towards upside. But if you go up first and then down, break the, you know, support down here, I think this will be a lot worse, you know, dump than if you just go down right over here. So there is that. So short term, I'm a little bit more, you know, optimistic. I wouldn't say bullish. I would say I'm a little bit more optimistic up here that this can maybe come up first right now to, you know, 19.7 or something like that, and then we'll see if it can go all the way up there to 18.8 or whatever, and even maybe break that. So, you know, we gotta see how the price of Bitcoin actually reacts to that. But right now, you know, short term, I think I'm a little bit optimistic that, you know, maybe, just maybe, we can recover a little bit. DXY, I forgot to talk about DXY yesterday, and DXY actually is dumping big time. You remember the channel up here, very nice bottoms. We broke those bottoms, which was very important level. We broke also the trends up here, all the trends. We dumped down, we tried recovering, and we are right now continuing towards the downside. Now we do got some kind of support levels coming in very shortly. 104.8 on the daily time frame. Weekly time frame, it's all the way down at 103, I think 103.3. That's the 50 moving average up here, and on the monthly time frame, this is also up here at 104.9. so these you know, these levels are important levels of support and resistance. Now there are other levels to, you know, notice. That's the you know, horizontal levels up here, the previous low down here at 105.6. It's above all of the moving averages, and then we got these up here, I would say, levels of resistance. So there is a lot of you know, if we continue up here, so basically I think these are the most of the lines. You can see up here that we are coming into this zone. I would say I would say this zone of resistance up here all the way through up here, but I think this one is more important. So you can see up here we got some kind of, you know, some kind of support up here, and then we got a lot of support right in this area between 104, 105, 104, 103 to 105, give or take. A lot of support up here, and then we got this, you know, 50 moving average on the downside. So will we be able to, you know, will this just immediately break towards the downside immediately? Will this bounce towards the upside? I'm a little bit unsure, but, you know, if we consider technical analysis, you know, how it actually do, you know, play out, oftentimes you do get retests, and as we can see up here, after a break on the downside, we didn't have any kind of retest on anything. So I would assume that this is gonna go a little bit more towards downside, and try to, you know, bounce up here, maybe towards the trend line up here, maybe towards this trend up here, maybe towards some kind of horizontal line up here, and, you know, retest that line before it gets rejected and continue going on the downside. I think the DXY is still, you know, on the move towards downside, but I don't know how much or when. Let me just remove the moving averages up here. You'll see these trend lines up here that goes towards upside. Let me just redraw these trend lines, and you can see up here, first of all, we did break this towards downside, big move. This is a very bearish move. You got a falling trend line, and you break that falling trend line towards downside. That's a very, very bearish move, which is very good for us. But, you know, Bitcoin is kind of not following DXY right now, unfortunately. Let me see down here. Do we got this line up here? Yeah, we are breaking this line as well. This is also a broken. Try to get above that and pull back down here again. This line is broken. I think everything is broken. Like there is nothing that's not broken. Like every single line that you can draw on the chart is broken. Yeah, every single line. I'm trying to draw something else that's not broken, but everything is broken. Literally everything is broken. So this move down here did break everything towards the downside. So right now, so the big question becomes how far down is gonna go. So right now, since this is, you know, let me see the moving average. You can see here the moving averages are all the way up there, and we are, you know, extended towards the downside. So just like any other technical analysis, any other chart pattern and stuff like that, these things have pullbacks. Now, will this pullback have an effect on Bitcoin and push the Bitcoin more towards the downside? A little bit unsure. Will this pullback, you know, will this go a little bit more towards the downside before it has a big pullback towards the upside? don't know, because if it does goes down into this area over here and Bitcoin does rally and then this pulls, you know, hard towards the upside, well, you know, Bitcoin could dump towards downside as well and have another dump towards downside. But you know, Bitcoin and dollar has not been correlated lately, so the question is, does it even matter to look at dollar anymore? Because we've been watching dollar because it has higher, you know, correlation with Bitcoin, but lately it's not been correlating that well. We can see that up here on the chart, BTC/USDT. Let's up here new price scale, and you'll see up here that entire move up here. You see up here ever since, you know, over here, this has been rallying towards the upside, while Bitcoin has been rallying, actually just going sideways, right? So the long-term trend over here is on DXY is towards the upside, but Bitcoin has been just consolidating up here. Now you could, you know, extrapolate that all the way up here to the bottom up here or something like that, right? And say that this move up here technically is inversely correlated, and maybe on the bigger time frames it is inversely correlated, right? Because if you look at it, you know, entire chart from when we started rallying and we hit the top, it is technically inversely correlated, right? But here's the problem, because right now everybody's following DXY on the small time frames, and on the small time frames right now, I mean, there is no inverse correlation up here, right? So the question is, will there be inverse correlation if we, you know, pump up here, and will this continue dumping on the downside, or will this, you know, follow DXY and maybe go up here with DXY, and then when DXY dumps, you know, Bitcoin dumps as well? Possibilities, probabilities, you know, all that shebang. But right now I think it's still, you know, dollar still looks a little bit weak. It tried to rally up here. You can see here on this, you know, let me just, you know, close this down here. Yeah, let me just remove these lines up here. So you can see up here, dollar does look a little bit weak. It, you know, it dumped down big time, tried to rally, failed that. Right now I think there is divergence on the chart on the short time frame up here, at least on the RSI. Let's see up here. Yeah, there is divergence up here. Right now it's hitting these divergences up here into this area. So I think there will come a dead can bounce. I'm a little bit unsure, but I think, you know, that can bounce is probable up here. Also, you'll see up here that we are getting the, you know, bearish cross up here on the chart. We actually got bearish cross all the way up here at the top up here, and then dumped on the downside. Monthly time frame, we still don't have the bearish cross, but what we do have is the change in the, you know, some kind of pivot point already up here on the monthly time frame. You can see the pivot point being created. We are not very strongly bearish yet on the XY, but these kind of moves could indicate, you know, you see here, I mean, we did go higher up here, even though we had momentum going down. So momentum was going down for a long time up here before we actually dropped towards the downside. Doesn't tell you that much, but, you know, and this is long-term chart. This is like 6 to 12 months, so, you know, it doesn't matter talking about that right now. And you can see here, you know, 2-day time frame has been dump like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 days straight down. So this definitely needs some kind of bounce soon, and I think somewhere up here in this area, DXY will get that bounce towards the upside. If it gets a bounce towards the upside, will Bitcoin follow through or not? That's the case. 2-day time frame up here, we got some kind of bullish, you know, bullish momentum going up here. So we're gonna see that. We still got 1 day and 16 hours left, so there is nothing. And Bitcoin up here is following nicely after these, you know, 3 bullish candles up here. So I think there is a good probability right now to hit this stop up here. 117.6 or something like that. It does look okay. So we gotta keep on following that. So there is that. Yes, the long-term chart that I want to show you, because let's, you know, remove these and add the Bitcoin halvings. There we go. This is good enough. Let me just see show labels. There we go, just turn off the labels. And the next halving is up here, there we go, around 4th of March or something like that. So, yeah, it's not that long. Now, you could say, won't be bullish enough. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Good morning, Edward, how you doing, man? You're writing too much, guys. I don't know what you're talking about. Bulls will be an area until Fed pivots, which won't happen anytime soon. 5-minute time frame. Okay, so here's the thing. I've been watching the I just watched the, I don't know if you can see this, This is Crypto Noob's video, and he's, you know, proposing, like he's always proposing some kind of theory. Now he's proposing there will be, you know, falling, descending triangle up here, which will fall down some kind of 10k or something like that, and then consolidate for the next, what's that, you know, from 23 to 24, a whole year's time, 1 year time before we actually go up. And this over here is the halving happening, right? So this is the halvening happening, and this is the price going towards the upside around something. This is September 24, but halvening is actually happening not over here. Halvening is happening right over here. So he thinks we're gonna go down and then go be on the bottom all the way until the halvening and then pump towards the upside. Now this has never happened before, so I'm a little bit curious why he thinks that, because, you know, random reasons. That said, as you can see here, we have never gone on the bottom. We have never been on the bottom all the way until halvening, right? We come to the bottom prior to the halvening. We come to the bottom prior to the halvening. We come to the some kind of bottom prior to the halvening, right? Where this bottom is gonna be exactly, you know, that could be the case. We can fall down, but I don't think we're gonna go 1 year, you know, in time and you know, consolidate another year down at 10k or something like that and then bounce. But, you know, we go down and then, you know, prior to the halvening we pump, and it's only after the halvenings that we have the rally towards the upside, right? It's only after that. So, you know, Bitcoin is like that. It, you know, it follows certain, you know, certain lines, you know, how much up and down it goes, it kind of depends. So what we're gonna say is see that for example over here we got from the bottom to the halvening it took 53 bars, so 53 weeks. That's 1 year, exactly 1 year before the halvening, almost give or take. 1 year before the halvening we hit the bottom up here. Up here we hit the bottom 78 bars, a little more than a year before a halvening. Up here we hit the bottom at 74 bars, so 78, 74 bars. And if you assume that the next is around, for people, it's in March. What is March? There we go. If you assume that next is in March 2024, and assume it's around 70 bars or something like that. 70 bars. So this is 70 bars up here, 70 bars up here. So you can see right now that we are hitting that mark right now. If we are gonna hit, you know, the bottom, and that's some kind of bottom, whatever, right? We are hitting that mark right now. 74 bars until the bottom up here, 78 bars until, you know, we hit the bottom first time, right? And this actually took a lot longer time to actually start rallying towards the upside, but over here it took a little bit less. And then, you know, how long time did it take for, you know, from it started rallying? So this was up here 46 bars, and up here it started at you know, 56 bars. So we can assume that, you know, maybe, just maybe, between 46 and 56 bars, you know, 56, 46, let's say 46 bars up here, something like that, give or take. And this doesn't look like a year to me. Like this part over here from the bottom, you know, this up, it looks 26. So it looks like we got something like, you know, 3 to 6 months again on consolidation. You know, if that's the case, right? You know, because we started rallying up here, you know, 46 weeks before the halving. Here 56 weeks before the halving. This takes this is right now 50, but if you take 56, it takes less time, right? It takes less time. Doesn't matter. Between let's do it up here. 56, and there is a line something like up here. That means that we got something, so I would say, you know, 15 to 25 weeks, give or take. How much is 15 weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4 months to, no, it's not 4 months, 15 weeks, yeah, 3-4 months to 5-6 months or something like that. If you just look at a chart, you know, previous events, you know, average time something, you know, took to happen and stuff like that. But, you know, 1 year's time of being down at the bottom, I don't know. So there's that. There is other ways to look at it, you know, when it comes to this chart. You know, how long do we have left from the bottom and so forth. Are we at the bottom? Is this gonna go more towards downside down here and then rally towards the upside? Is this last move and so forth. But you know, we are close. I think we are close, you know, trying to be slightly optimistic, but there is that. Any questions, guys? CryptoClick is a good video on this subject. Yeah, a lot of people are actually looking at, historical. A lot of people got some kind of opinions on where the price is gonna, supposed to go next. Well, 10, 5, 86. Elon says dodge to the moon. Elon says always dodge to the moon. He's gotta carry the dodge to the moon. Anyways, guys, that's that. We've been streaming for like 30 minutes. A little bit update on what's happening in Bitcoin and DXY. So there's that. I don't see any kind of big movers. Altcoins are just going a little bit up, a little bit down. Mostly a little bit up, but there is no big movers or anything like that special happening right now. I mean, there is definitely probably something that's pumping, but there is that. Important levels right now, that's 17.6 and 18.8. Those, I think those are the most important levels right now. 18.8, so we're gonna see that. There is also some kind of trend line up here that needs to be broken. I think that's goes something like this over here, give or take. So you can see right now that we got also some kind of trend line up here. 17.6 or something like that. So the more of these levels we break towards the upside, the more bullish we become. The less levels we break, the more bearish we become. So we're gonna follow and see where this actually goes. I'm slightly bullish on the short term. On the bigger time frames, I think we need to see if we get that can bounce or anything like that. Anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 9 a.m. Central P time on the dollar. We're gonna do the show again tomorrow, guys. I'll see you around. Bye bye.